Okay, PS4 disassembly. Ignore the back sound. So this is the CUH1102. I've already taken the cover out, so there's 1, 2, 3, and then fourth screw around here. So now you have to take off the power supply, which I am right now. And then this is one screw here. You need to take it off as well. Show you in a bit. This is the screw. I don't know if you can see. That's the screw. It's like a forehead screw. And after that, you can take off this is antenna or the Wi-Fi antenna. Take that off as well. Let me just zoom it in. This one as well, and make sure everything is disconnected and stuff. Then after that, you don't need to take the Blu-ray drive out. It's because once you disconnect these three parts, you're all good to go. You don't need to disconnect the Blu-ray drive. So turn the PS4 around. Then take off these screws here. You need this special screwdriver. then you take off all of these screws, and then to open up this thing you need to pry this part up, this, then just like that, and it will come off. There you go. Now you see maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12 screws. You need to take them off as well. And even including the heatsink bracket, which is just 4 head screws. So I'm just gonna start off from this one. That's one. That's 2. That's 3. 4. 5. 6. And then 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. And then I think you need, I think it should work as well. You need a 4 big screwdriver to remove these 2. So let me just zoom in. I'll show you how to move. There we go. Yep, it's coming off. So that's 1. And that's 2. Alright. That's off. My heatsink screws. Keep that aside. Zoom out. Zoom in. Then lift this piece off like this. Just comes off straight like that. And yeah. Yeah. And make sure you don't lose them. These are thermal pads. If you lose them, the chips will not get enough cooling and will overheat again. And also these are specifically made for the thing. Okay, put that here. gently. You see, so you see my fingers? Just pry it up from here. Just lifts off like that. And once you lift it off, there we go. Turn it around. There's a thermal paste. It's a good thermal paste, but I'll replace it with a good one now because I have a better one. So, how do you clean this? You need something. Isopropylene alcohol. And yeah, I don't know, like something to clean up, which I don't have it with me. Let's see, let's think. So we'll put scratches. You need a rag, and so what I do is put a little bit of isopropylene on this and the heat sink as well. I have less on it, so sorry for this. And let it sit till it becomes really liquid, till it becomes liquefied. So I reckon that should be fine. So take your rag and start cleaning off the old thermal paste. Now this comes off easily. That's good. So that's clean, and the CPU as well. Just gently, don't want scratches on it. If you scratch up the CPU, there'll be less heat transfer on it. Like, the scratch will make it worse. So just make sure what are you using. So use something really soft. If you use something hard, you have more chances of scratching your CPU, and that's what you don't want. So as you can see, I'm doing a terrible job here, but you know, giving you a brief example on how to clean it. Just clean it off. The edges. What I would suggest is take a minor screwdriver and just, like, you know, make like a tip, something, and start cleaning this bit off from it. Yeah, so this is not a good idea. See, look, it's coming off. I would suggest just use just use the end of the tip to clean off the end surfaces. There we go. Yeah, that's good. that's good enough. Okay, so time to put a new thermal paste again. So I'm using this one. I'm using Deep Cool something, Master Gel. That's what they say. This is 10 times better. I know Arctic Silver and stuff. I have Arctic Silver on my PC, but I don't have any more, so I just bought this one. Trust me, like the brand doesn't matter. This is pretty much good as well. So let's get on to it. So how you put thermal paste is just put a blob. Or maybe put an X like this. So yeah, there we go. This has to be the worst thermal paste I've ever done. Oh my god, I'm so sorry guys. But you get the idea, you need to put X. An X should work. I think I put a little bit too much, but I think that's enough. You don't need to put like so much, because then it's a waste of, like, you know, it's going to get messier, and then, you know, yeah, it's not good. And also this is non-electric, this is non-conductive. I think Arctic Silver is. So if you're getting Arctic Silver, you need to make sure you don't get into these tiny resistors, tiny resistors there, because it will short out if something goes inside them. But this is non-conductive, so it doesn't matter. As long as you're doing the job, then that's fine. Alright, now to put it back, make sure that's okay. And then realign the motherboard like that. And yeah, you need to put it inside there as well. And then just close it like this, and then sure you have enough. Spread it evenly. I mean, don't really press it, because I just press it from here. Like, you don't press it here, because you will eventually break something here. These are like surface mounted. It's gonna be a big problem. Alright, so the fan cable, this is fan cable. You just like clicks in like this, and that's it. Like, that's all done. Now it's time to put it all back together. So back with this again. Make sure thermal pads, everything's fine here. So if, you know, they usually do fall off, so be careful. So just put it back gently like this, and like that. Just have it. And then time to put all the screws back together. These ones. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a Torx, like a T9 or T8. I think mine's T9. So yeah, that's T9 screw. So put them all back together. So I'll show you an example. Start off with this one. Put the screw in. Take the driver and start. That's it. And then just start putting back all the screws in. So make sure they're a little bit tight because it's gonna hold up the motherboard. And yeah, if the screws are a little bit loose, I don't think they're really that big of a deal. Especially this part, you need to make sure that's really tight because it's gonna give a pressure to the heatsink, and that will dissipate heat properly in that case. So yeah, there we go. I hope you guys can see this. This is my first DIY video. People complain that, like, you know, taking PS4 is hard, like stuff like that. But I find it easier. I've taken a lot of stuff apart in my entire life, so I'm fine with it. But like, you can clearly see it's not that hard. Like, if you know what you're doing, if you like, I'll tell you one thing. Make sure you have the right tools. If you have the right tools, you can do it. If you don't have the right tools, well, you're out of luck. You need to get it. Like this screwdriver, and you know, some, yeah. And then the thermal compound. And the thermal compound doesn't matter. You can get anyone. Like, it's the same thing. Like, it doesn't matter. Thermal paste job is just to dissipate heat. That's all. So, sure this is plugged in as well. And get your, oops, okay, yeah. Your hard drive goes in here, and then take this screw and put it in. Alright. Nice and tight. All good. Now this is the one I'm talking about. You can bend it a little bit so you can get more pressure on it. So this is what I do. Just make sure you bend it a bit, somewhat like that. So it will give more pressure here. So time to put the heatsink back on. I'll zoom it in a bit, show you what am I doing. Right. So yeah, this one. Just put some pressure here, and then equally tighten them up. I think I did it too much. Hold on. Because if you bend it too much, it's impossible to fit, and that will destroy the threads. And start, and then equally make sure both have the same screws. So, and then, like, you know, I've done a little bit here, and then I'll do a little bit here. I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, the screwdriver sucks. Just grab a better one. Oh yeah, this is much better. So like that, and then switch it. Make sure everything's equal, so you don't like tighten this place too much and this is coming off, because the threads are just gonna come off like that, and then it's gonna, you know, it's gonna destroy the threads, and then you are done. So make sure everything's equal. So make sure it's nice and tight. That's enough. Same as here. Nice and tight. Good enough. And then now this thing right here. So how do you put this in? Just put the back like this, and then it will snap on like this. Just like that. And then you need 2 more screws here as well.
क्या कर रहा है?
And then 2 screws here. Sorry, that was my brother. And then, yep. And then the hard drive, this thing, just slide it back in like that. And you can see the bottom, the top part is already done. Now it's time to move on to the bottom. Now, how will I put these back in? Alright, so let's just... For those who are wondering, what am I using? I'm using a DJI Osmo. It's a pretty good thing, I like it. Like the stabilization is good on it. Yeah. So let me just zoom in a little bit more. Alright, yeah, I think that's better now. Okay, so to put this thing first, you need to make sure this thing, press this in, and then just slide it back in like that. It slides in and let it go. And this thing right here, that's the, oh wait, there we go. That's the Blu-ray drive, like to give it power. And oh, I forgot one thing. There's a screw over here as well. So that's the screw. So just drop it in, just like that, you see, and then tighten this up as well. Yeah, it's great to have magnetic ones. So this. Tighten up this part as well. And yep, so now back to this thing. This thing is the Blu-ray drive power cable. I believe this is the one to send the data to the PS4, like it's reading the disc. And this one is the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. If you have this disconnected, the controllers won't work. Like it will work, but it will be like too much laggy and stuff, you know, stuff like that. So anyways, let's just put this in, this one. So this just goes in just like that. Just sits back in. And then the Wi-Fi one, it's a bit tricky, but once you feel like the click, that means you're done. Like that's alright. So I'll show you. So just I know it's a little bit dimmed out. Yeah, so you have to feel the click. Like, you know, when you feel the click, then it's done. So now it's already plugged in. So that's all good. Alright, back to the whole reassembly thing again. Cool. And make sure your fan is clean and stuff. My fan is clean, so I always vacuum it. I don't vacuum it, but I just like, you know, I clean it once in a month. So yeah, this is, I changed the thermal paste like 3-4 years ago on this, so I just changed it like, this is after 4 years. I'm reopening it again. So yeah. And power supply, make sure it's dust free. I'm using my mouth to blow it off. I know there's yeah stuff like that, so but you use like an air compressor to just, but mine's cleaned up like even after 4 years it looks very clean. Like this, when I first opened it, the heat sink, this was all clogged up, so I had to like clean it off. And yeah, but now till 4 years now it's still clean. There's nothing wrong with it. So power supply, how do you so there's this cable here. I'll zoom it in. Sorry for my hand. Yeah. Alright, so you see this cable, right? This one? This one goes into this. So this into this. So I'll show you. I'm so sorry, this is the first time I'm doing a DIY video. And yeah, so just plug this in here. You can see it's plugged in, and then make sure it's, yeah, so just as simple as that. And then you feel like it's already clicked in, so just make sure you press it evenly everywhere, and then put the screws back in as usual. Now for those who are wondering, I have like a different screw on this one because I think when you open up your PS4 it might have this screw on it, on the power supplies and stuff, so you'll find this. But I just use this one because I hate these screws. I don't like it, so I just replace them. They're both the same in terms of like how they fit. They both have same threads, because I prefer, you know, 4-bit drivers. I just love it. So that's what I did. It's still in there. So there. Then one here. Alright, and then you need these, yep, these things. This will go here, and this will go here, and start screwing it. You don't have to do it too tight, because you will destroy the threads, and that's a big problem then. So nice and tight. And then this is how do you put this back? So just put it like this. So like this, and then just slam it. It will just go in. And then put back all those 4 screws in. So I'm still using these ones, as you can see, because I like them. Yours might be different. Yeah, so let me just... So yeah, that's better now. Oops. I think that screw is better. It's pretty hot. Yeah, just re-screw this back in. Same with this one as well. Same with this one too. And there we go. All done. And yeah, just put back the stickers which you get with it. We're done. Like, this is for, like, you know, the people who have higher fan issues. They overheat. But yeah, like this should do it. Like the thermal paste will do everything. You need to change your thermal paste. I did change mine, but you know, I'm just doing it for the video now, and I decided to change it again. I don't know why. But I should have used some example PS4 for this. But if you follow the steps, I did mine again after maybe 3 years again, and I had no issues opening it up, as you can see in the video and stuff. It's all good. But yeah, thank you.